Welcome back to my channel. My name is Georgia and I'm a knit and crochet designer, and today I'm going to show you how to make the raffia circle satchel bag that I just showed you in the previous clip. I do apologise about the setting. This is the best I can do for today and I really want to get the video up as soon as I can, so I apologise. So first things first, you do need to know how to crochet to be able to make this bag. So I will show you the stitches, but obviously you do need to know the basics of how to crochet first, although it is relatively easy, it's an easy pattern. The bag comes in one size, so there won't be any sizes for this video, but there will be a gauge which I'll leave on the screen now, which you know by now is very important. And the yarn I used is called raffia from Wool and the Gang. I used the colour black and desert palm, so I'll leave on the screen how much of that you'll need. And then you'll also need a 5mm crochet hook, all the size needed to obtain the gauge. You'll need a yarn needle, you'll need some scissors, and you'll also need a strap that you're going to use for your bag. I'll leave the link down in the description below for the strap that I used. It's just £5 off of Amazon, or you could thrift a bag and use the strap from that bag, or maybe you've got a strap on another bag that you like and you can just switch it over, but you just want one that you can clip on, and I just got a black leather look one. But yeah, we're just going to get straight into the video. If you like it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more tutorials from me. It really helps out my channel more than you know. But without any more babbling, let's get crafting. Also, just quickly forgot to say that if you do prefer to have a PDF version of a pattern, then I'll leave the link for the PDF pattern down below. And if you do have any questions, then feel free to leave a comment and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Now I'm going to show you what the raffia yarn looks like up close, and this is a good time just to mention a few things. So this pattern does use US crochet terms. The beginning chain 2 counts as a stitch throughout, and a stitch count will be given for each round in brackets, and obviously that stitch count includes the beginning chain 2 because the beginning chain 2 counts as a stitch throughout. Moving swiftly on, we're going to start with a slip knot and we're going to chain 4. And also I do apologise about my voice. I've actually had no voice all week, and so I can't wait any longer to do this video, and this is as good as it's going to get. So I do apologise about that. Now you've got your chain 4 and now you're going to slip stitch to the first chain. So do a slip stitch in that first chain and it's going to create a little circle. And then I'm just pulling the tail tight, and then you can just see there's just a little hole in the middle there, which is where we're going to do our first round. So we're going to chain 2, and obviously you want to be using the lighter colour as well to begin with. You're going to do 11 double crochets into that middle hole, and you're going to sort of work your way around, and that will be a total of 12 stitches for round 1 because the beginning chain 2 counts as a stitch. Now you can probably see that it's taken me a little bit of getting used to this yarn. It can be sort of feel a bit strange at first, but it does get easier the more you get used to it. But yeah, you can see I'm just going into that same hole for every single stitch, and we're going to do that 11 times so that we have 12 stitches including the beginning chain 2. So I've got my 12 stitches, and you can see it's just gone around in a little circle, and then we're going to join with a slip stitch to the second chain of the beginning chain 2 that we did for that round. So I'm just inserting my hook and doing a slip stitch, and that is the end of round 1. For round 2, we're going to stay with the same colour. We're going to chain 2, remember that counts as our first stitch. And we're going to do 2 double crochets into the same stitch. So directly underneath that chain 2, we're going to do 2 more double crochets. Then in the next stitch, you're going to do 2 double crochet. So you can just see the next stitch there. 2 double crochet into that stitch. Then into the next stitch, we're going to do 3 double crochets. Now in the next one we're going to do 2 double crochets, and you may see a pattern starting to emerge. So after we've done those 2, in the next stitch we're going to do 3 double crochets, and you're going to continue in that pattern around. So you're going to alternate between doing 2 double crochets in the next stitch, and then in the stitch after that you're going to do 3, 2, then 3, 2, then 3, all the way around, and you'll join with a slip stitch to the beginning chain 2, but I will show you that when we get there because we're going to change colours. Okay, so I've got my 30 stitches, and I'm going to join with a slip stitch to the beginning chain 2, the second chain in that beginning chain 2. However, it's slightly different because we are going to be changing colours. So you insert the hook, but then you don't do the slip stitch with the lighter coloured yarn. You're going to grab your black yarn, and you're just going to like place the yarn around your hook and then pull it through both the loops on your hook. And now you're ready to start working with that yarn. Just pull the yarns tight, and I actually will tie together the working lighter coloured yarn and the tail of the black coloured yarn, just like in a little small knot, just so that it's not going to keep like slipping around, just to keep it a bit more secure. And that way as well we don't have to cut the yarn when we change colours. So now both coloured yarns are attached, and we can continue now with the black yarn. So we're going to chain 2. Make sure you haven't got the tail, make sure you've actually got the working yarn in your hand. This time we're going to do 2 double crochets in the next stitch. So not the one that's directly underneath, but the one that is next to it. So 2 double crochets in there. Then into the next stitch we're just going to do 1 double crochet. Then into the next stitch we're going to do 2 double crochets. So there's 2 in that one, and then the next one we're going to do 1 double crochet. Next stitch is 2 double crochet, and I think you can see where this is going. Next stitch is 1 double crochet, and you're just going to keep alternating between doing 2 double crochets and then 1, 2, then 1, all the way around, and join with a slip stitch to the second chain of the beginning chain 2, and that will complete round 3, and I'll leave a stitch count on the screen. Here is what the work looks like after round 3, and now we're going to start round 4. We're still with the black yarn, so we're going to chain 2. We're going to double crochet in the same stitch, so directly underneath that chain 2. Then you've got 1 double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. So into the next stitch I'm going to do 1 double crochet. And then into the stitch after that I'm also going to do 1 double crochet. In the next stitch you've got 2 double crochets. So that's 2 in there. And then again in the next 2 stitches you've got 1 double crochet in each stitch. So there's 1, and there's the second one. In the next stitch you've got 2 double crochets, and you're going to continue in this pattern. So after this it'll be 1 double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches, and then 2 double crochets in the next, 1 in each of the next 2, and repeat that around. Here's what my work looks like as I'm finishing round 4. So now we're going to change colours back to the lighter colour. So again, I'll show you how to do it. You insert the hook into the second chain of the beginning chain 2, as though you were going to join with a slip stitch. Then you're going to grab the working yarn of the lighter colour, which is still attached to our work, and you're just going to carry it over. So there'll be like a little bit of yarn sort of behind the black section, if that makes sense. And you just grab that yarn and pull it through, and then you can see we're now ready to work with that lighter colour yarn. And I will just tie them, or you can tie them together to secure them, but I actually didn't because I felt like I was going to get tangled. But because this yarn like is actually kind of fine to just pull it tight and it should stay. And you can see we've just carried that yarn over the black, and now we're ready to start working with it. And you can just leave the black yarn where it is for now. And so for round 5 we're going to chain 2. We're going to double crochet in the same stitch, so directly underneath that chain 2. Then in the next stitch we're going to do 1 double crochet. In the next stitch we're going to do 2 double crochets. Then in the stitch after that you've got 1 double crochet. You want to do 2 double crochets in the next stitch. And then it's 1 double crochet in the stitch after that, 2 in the next, and repeat that pattern around. So you got 2 double crochet in one stitch, and then in the next stitch it's 1 double crochet, 2 1 2 1 all the way around, join with a slip stitch to the beginning chain 2, and at the end of this round you should have 90 stitches in the round, including the beginning chain 2. So after round 5, if your work's feeling like a bit floppy now, don't worry, because that is exactly how it's supposed to look. We're going to start round 6 by doing chain 2. Now we're going to double crochet in the next 8 stitches. So just 1 double crochet in each of the next 8 stitches, and I'm going to speed this up because otherwise we'll be here all day. So I'm nearly there, and once you've done your 1 double crochet in each of the next 8 stitches, you're then going to do 2 double crochet in the next stitch. After you've done those 2 double crochets, you're now going to do 1 double crochet in each of the next 7 stitches. And once you've done that, you'll then do 2 double crochet in the next stitch, and that's the pattern you're going to repeat. 1 double crochet in each of the next 7, 2 double crochet in the next. So I'm just now switching to the black yarn and just carrying that over from the last time we used the black yarn. You can actually break the light coloured yarn now as well, because we're not going to need it anymore. For round 7, you're going to chain 2, and all you're going to do is 1 double crochet in every stitch around. So we're just going to double crochet into the next stitch and then into the one after that, and just do 1 double crochet in every stitch around. And when you get to the end of the round, you can join with a slip stitch to the second chain in the beginning chain 2, and your stitch count will remain at 101, the same as the last round, because we're not doing any more increases. So I've completed rounds 7 and 8, where we just double crochet in every stitch around and don't do any more increases. And now we've got round 9, which is still going to be with the black yarn. You're going to slip stitch into the next stitch, so we don't do any chains. We're going to slip stitch into the next 11 stitches. So that's my 3rd. Now I'm going into the 4th, and you're going to make your way along until you've done 11 slip stitches. When you've got your 11 slip stitches, we're now going to chain 2. Then you're going to double crochet into the next stitch, and you're going to double crochet in every stitch around until 11 stitches are remaining. Now that is from where the round began, which was before we did the 11 slip stitches. So when I say that there's 11 stitches left, that doesn't include the slip stitches we just did. So I've double crocheted around, and this is what it looks like when I have 11 stitches left in the round. My left thumb is where the chain 2 was from the previous row where we started our slip stitches for this round, and I'm just counting to make sure there's 11 stitches left. And that means there's a gap of about 22 stitches, and that's sort of where the opening is going to be for the bag. So when you've got those 11 stitches left still in the round, you can just break the yarn and fasten off. And then what you need to do is go back and make another circle the exact same, and once you have 2, you can come back and move on to the assembly section. Okay, so I've now got my 2 circle pieces, and this is the wrong side because this is where all the tails are. I did cut the yarn multiple times on my second one because the yarn was just getting so tangled, so you can see the difference there. But what you want to do is place one circle on top of the other, but you want the wrong sides facing out, and you want these sections to line up together. So I'm just placing that one on top of the other so that the section where the bag will be open at the top, they're just lined up together like that. So now that those sections are lined up, we're just going to insert the hook through. So that bit is the last stitch we did of round 9, and then on this side it's the chain 2 of round 9. I hope that makes sense. But basically, yeah, you put it into the edge, if that makes any sense. It's really hard to explain, so hopefully you can see. And then we're just going to join the 2 circles together with a slip stitch. And then I'm just going to enter my hook into the next stitch, going through the first circle and then the second circle, and matching up the stitches so that you go into the next one, you're not skipping any stitches or anything like that, and just join with a slip stitch. And try not to make the slip stitches too tight, you can do them loosely, and you're just going to work your way around every single stitch, going through both circles, so like the front and the back, making sure you go through both pieces every time and just join in with a slip stitch. It's easier to see now that I've done a few. So yeah, if you get what to do, then just carry on. If you need to see it a little bit more closer up, then I'm just going to show it a little bit more slowly and in a bit more detail. But basically the idea is that you're going to work your way around the bag through every stitch. So yeah, you can see I've worked my way around, and then when I got to the other side where sort of the last double crochet was / the first chain 2 was of round 9, I've then cut the yarn, and where the slip stitches were for round 9, I've just left those stitches there, and that is the opening of the bag. And then you're just going to turn the work so that it's right side facing out, and that's how you're going to wear the bag. And obviously you need to weave the ends in as well. If you want to add a zip or a button or a popper to sort of fasten up the bag and not just have an open hole at the top, then absolutely feel free to do that. And then what you're going to need to do is grab your strap. Now, I've got one of those adjustable ones, so I can either wear it as like a long crossbody bag or like a little cute shoulder bag. But yeah, so you're just going to grab the clips, and then I'm just going to show you the placement of where to put the clips. So you can see there's like 2 double crochets, like one on each side of the bag. So I'm going to just clip it onto one side. But obviously, like, you can kind of play around with this and just see what suits you. But then I'm going to make sure that the strap is not twisted at all. And then the placement for the other side of the bag, I'm just going onto the other side. So I'm clipping it to the right side of the bag here. But on the first clip, I clipped it to the left side, if that makes sense. Just to like even it out and make sure that it's as secure as it can be. And that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching the video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to tag me on socials at JeggoCrochet. I absolutely love seeing your makes, and obviously, like, I can feature them on my channels as well. I hope you get loads of use out of your bag. I've already used mine like loads of times, and I've only had it done for a week, and I've had so many compliments on it as well, so I hope you guys do too. Don't forget to like the video if you did enjoy it, and subscribe for more tutorials from me. But that's it. Enjoy the rest of your day or night whenever you're watching this.